There's a good chance that you, yes you, are living like an NPC. And before you say, no, I'm built different, are you though? Or are you built like these guys? NPCs, or non-playable characters, are often the background noise of video games. This isn't always the case, and things will change as our AI overlords take over the universe. But for right now, they just walk around or stand around just saying the same 3 lines, like someone who just learned a couple phrases on Duolingo and has suddenly made that their whole personality. That Duolingo person is me, by the way. Buenos dias, gracias, necesito mi dinero, hombre. Okay, but here's the real problem. If you don't realize that you're living like an NPC, you never stop. You don't get a second life, you just kind of fade out quietly, mid-loop. So speaking of loops, if you're like me, your days kind of look like wake up, scroll through phone, work, scroll through phone, go to sleep, repeat. I was in loop mode. The danger wasn't just the boredom of it, it was erosion. It just slowly wears down your motivation, your curiosity, your soul. You feel stuck and you don't remember how it started. Nothing changes because you're not doing anything different. Eventually, the loop just becomes your reality. But if you can break that loop, you can create momentum. Just one different action, even if it's a dumb action, proves to your brain that change is possible. And that's big. New actions equal new results, which equals a new storyline. Even if it's not an interesting story at first. It could be guy chooses new cereal, changes life. But just taking that first step can break the cycle. So if you're feeling like you're stuck in a loop like I was, maybe try doing something different during the day. I'm always tinkering with my routine to see what I can do better. Wake up earlier, try a different workout. Even just going outside and walking in a new neighborhood has helped me. I find it doesn't really matter what, just break the loop. Another NPC behavior to watch out for is not upgrading your stats. If life is a game, we've been playing this game for decades, we need to improve our stats. It's easy to just focus on leveling up the stats that don't really matter. I've mastered checking emails 900 times a day, scrolling through Netflix for extremely long periods of time without actually watching anything, barely holding on to sanity while working at jobs I hate, checking my phone every 35 seconds. But what about the real stats? Strength, courage, focus, creativity. What if they're all still stuck at the tutorial level? Yeah, this sucks because you can get so efficient at the wrong things. You can confuse motion with progress, and you can hit burnout without having anything to show for it. But if you start training the right areas, these small movements in the right direction can lead to huge changes over time. Focused improvements turn into major upgrades. And if I want more meaning, start building skills that feel like progress, not punishment. So if you're experiencing this NPC behavior, maybe pick just one stat. It can be charisma. It can be your physical attributes. It can be strength. It can be endurance. It could be cooking. It could be the sword. And then put time into it. Do it badly, do it awkwardly, do it inconsistently at first if that's the case. But just do something. It doesn't have to be perfect at first. Progress doesn't require perfection, but it does require action. And finally, you might be living the life of an NPC if you just stopped accepting new quests. New places, weird characters, maybe you find a sword with +5 lightning damage. Maybe you find a sword that gives you 10% discounts on DoorDash, I don't know. But if you're living like an NPC, you're declining everything that doesn't fit into the routine. Try a new hobby? No thanks. Go outside? Too tired. Take a risk. But what if I fail? So you sit there idle, like a Skyrim villager. And this sucks because you don't build new memories, new experiences. Your world and your mind get smaller, and you start mistaking safety for purpose. That's a common theme, just going down the safe path instead of going down the path of the hero. But if you say yes to quests, like all of the heroes that we love, you get to experience those stories, and you get to experience the actual growth that comes from attempting the quest, not necessarily completing them, but just attempting them. That's the type of growth that you don't get from just being comfortable. It comes from showing up for something you're not ready for, but just doing it anyway. So to break out of this NPC behavior, maybe try something that makes you uncomfortable, but you're curious about. Like try an improv class, or try to learn some other new skill, build a game, write a song, make a video. Again, even if it's terrible, I feel like that's better than progress in life and areas that you don't really care about. Those are NPC behaviors to look out for. And remember that one of the hardest parts of living like an NPC is the fact that you don't recognize that it's happening. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's just small choices made on autopilot that lead to a life that doesn't really feel like yours. But the good news is you have stats that you can improve. You can add to your skills, you can add to your inventory, you can find great party members, and you can go on any quest that you want to. You can be the main character in this story and not just the background filler in someone else's story. You just have to pick up the controller. You have to press start. So please, if you are living like an NPC, stop waiting for the main quest to find you. Pick something, swing wildly, start playing.